Hey, what's the weather going to be this week?
It's going to be hot. 95 degrees is just freaking nuts. I mean, it's May.
I mean, when you weather guys, Brad Huffines, formerly of CNN and Channel 31, when you get into the summer, this is what always bugged me when I was working up, and the sports, when Bob Labby was doing sports stuff. Right. The weathermen still got their allotted 5-6 minutes, and it's the same forecast for the next 90 days.
True.
Fancy thunderstorm is going to be hot.
That's one of the reasons why I left television. I mean, it's because I would go home at the end of the day after a day like today and say, you know, the forecast, partly cloudy. Back to you. I mean, I'd get home at night and think, what did I do to accomplish anything today? Which is why I'm in emergency weather notification and weather risk management now, because every day I'm being able to live out my passions. I mean, that's why I just.
So how's that going? Last time we saw you, you were talking about doing that weather call thing. What's the premise behind all that?
When the Weather Service in 2007 stopped issuing county-based warnings, which we still have, sirens that go off countywide, weather radios that go off countywide. Now you've heard the recent thing that FEMA, the National Weather Service, is going to start buzzing your cell phone. Mm-hmm. We're now starting to understand if what someone from deep within the Weather Service said yesterday, those warnings are likely going to be county-wide warnings, and cell phone towers don't know county boundaries, all right? So what's going to happen is for a warning in a certain part of a county, now you're going to start getting text messages that you don't have a choice to receive or not to receive. You've got to opt out eventually for counties that aren't even your own. Let's say that Madison County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, then your cell phone in parts of Limestone County are going to go off because those cell towers in Madison County broadcast into Limestone County, and you're going to start getting warnings that you didn't ask for. Isn't that just beautiful?
Yeah.
Talk about finding a way to make weather radio even more irritating. They've I apparently found a way to do it. Unless they specifically put every single cell tower into a lat long, which means that when the Weather Service issues a warning, let's say that this stage is a county, the Weather Service issues a warning that looks like this coffee table. That's what the warning looks like. But yet the whole county is still lit up with sirens and weather radios. That's what the warning looks like. That's what Weather Call does, is that specific warning right here.
Oh, so they do just that area.
Right, just that area. That's it. That's what we do. And then we'll put a hospital, a nursing home, manufacturing plant, a home user into that box and call them if they're in danger and not call them if they don't. And that's saving some of the clients that I've had. They've saved $500,000, $2 million a year in unnecessary sheltering.
That's just like, and I guess it's the policy of all the major stations in Huntsville. But if there's a tornado warning in DeKalb County, Fort Payne, they have to stay on the air with it, even though, say you're watching a basketball game or something, they're off.
Right.
But it's over there.
Right.
But I guess they have to do that.
Right. Well, they don't have to. Area. They choose to. The FCC says that they have to at least
crawl.
Yeah, say the warning has to be verbal and visual and verbal, so that the hearing impaired, sight impaired can see it. But they don't have to stay on for hours ad nauseum. But here's the other thing that really worries me, deeply worries me, is that there's right now 5 weather services in Wichita, St. Louis, some others in the central part of the country that are. You heard the story a couple of months ago about impact-based warnings that they're going to start saying, above ground is unsurvivable, la la la. What's happening now with that is they're going to start issuing warnings based upon Doppler radar, which they're doing now. Then they're going to issue a warning. If it's been confirmed, they'll issue a new warning, confirmed tornado. Then they'll issue a warning, catastrophic or significant damage possible with this tornado. So here's what's going to happen. My philosophy is this. When a warning is issued, somebody is always the first one hit. There's going to be someone, when it's Doppler indicated, the Joplin tornado, for instance, was a Doppler indicated tornado. Everybody in the path of that storm had been dealt their death blow by the time the National Weather Service had it confirmed on the ground. Then they issued the tornado emergency as the tornado was lifting, all right? So what's going to happen now is if this impact-based warning goes nationwide, which is what's expected, and they're getting some good pushback from local offices, then the problem is people are going to hear, or you're going to hear a TV weatherman say, oh, it's only a Doppler-indicated tornado. It hasn't been confirmed.
Cry wolf, cry wolf, cry.
Right, and when someone says it's, quote, only a Doppler-indicated tornado, the Weather Service hasn't confirmed it yet. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to ignore the warning, and remember, the people in Joplin were only under a, quote, Doppler-indicated tornado warning when they were killed.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. The people in Hackleburg, the people in Phil Campbell were under a Doppler-indicated tornado warning. It hadn't been confirmed. So by the Weather Service going, and I know what they're trying to, trying to give better warnings, but the problem is we as meteorologists and we as a scientific community, we're not that good yet. The tornado in Hackleburg and Phil Campbell was on the ground for about 30 miles and 30 minutes, had already killed people in Hackleburg and Phil Campbell, was approaching Mount Hope, Alabama, where Gary Dobbs was almost killed whenever I was talking to him on Channel 31 before it was confirmed. It had been on the ground for 30 miles before it had been confirmed. If you're waiting for a confirmed tornado warning to seek shelter,
good luck.
There's a good chance that you would have gotten killed in that tornado as well. So the Weather Service has a good intention, but my message is don't ignore the tornado warning. It doesn't matter if it's confirmed or not. Don't ignore it, because you know how.
But getting so many messages like that, everybody's going to be like,
here goes my cell phone again. I mean, they're going to start issuing warnings for dense fog advisories to your cell phone,
you won't pay attention.
For winter storm warnings, for blizzard warnings, for tornado warnings. I mean, all these things are going to be hitting your cell phone, and eventually you're going to be able to go on to a FEMA website and opt out and say, leave me alone. Because you're going to be getting so many warnings on that phone that you're going to think, if I wanted this irritation, I'd buy a weather radio.
All right, let me ask you about something else. Friday night, we're getting ready to go to the rodeo. We're leaving the house at 6. I'm going to have video in just a minute of singing on the square. We went down by there. I look up. Eastern Limestone County is just dark. There's a tornado warning for Madison County. That thing moves to the west instead of
east, right?
East. And then it's tornado warning. How dangerous are thunderstorm warnings?
There are thunderstorm warnings, except for the big tornadoes. Severe thunderstorms cause more damage than tornado warnings. Than tornadoes. Because they have hail, they have damaging winds, and for people outside, in fact, the National Weather Service started issuing back 2008, I think, what's called significant weather advisories. For someone sitting on a bass boat and fishing, a significant weather advisory with winds of 35 to 40 miles an hour, or 45, and lightning is as dangerous to that guy as the severe thunderstorm warning with 1-inch hail and gusty winds. And the Weather Service has been issuing those, but no one has been disseminating that information. We're working with and partnered with the American Bass Anglers based right here in Athens, and the American Bass Anglers were offering 2 products for their service, for their membership. One is free, and the other is a paid service to what's called Weather Call to Go. So someone sitting on that bass boat in the middle of nowhere, if lightning strikes within 6 miles of their bass boat, they're going to get notified. And lightning, if you've ever been on a boat in the middle of a lake and lightning starts striking, that's a horrifying position to be in. And that's what the American Bass Anglers and Weather Call have partnered to offer to their 500,000 members, is the ability to do that.
Now through fall, thunderstorms, especially with the weather being up in the 90s, thunderstorms can arise at any time.
Right, exactly.
It's just like there was no chance of rain Friday, yet all of a sudden this sail develops and moves this way instead of that way.
Right.
Came out of nowhere.
60 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah.
Well, see, that's why whenever I talk to people about having their personal weather notification, when the Weather Service issues the warning, the public doesn't understand that the Weather Service issues the warning and their mission is complete. Their job is finished. It's not their job to come knock on your door and say, hey, tornado warning. That's not their job. Their job is to issue that warning. It's your job to buy something to get the warning. It may be a television, it may be a weather radio, it may be Weather Call, it may be some other notification service. What I'll refer to as the state endorsed limited free service that was issued that was put out back in March or February, that was giving me 1 hour late tornado warnings. I got a tornado warning.
Isn't that a competitor of yours? Would that be considered?
Yes, that would be considered a competitor. And the same time I got a weather call warning within a minute of the tornado warning, within 1 minute of the warning, and my competitor delivered me a 1 hour old tornado warning. And the governor had endorsed that service. That's a 1 hour old warning. I took a radar image. I showed the governor where this storm was when I got my warning, and it was leaving the state of Alabama when I got my tornado warning, and said, for goodness sake, don't endorse Weather Call, don't endorse anybody, hold us all accountable. Hold our feet to the fire. If you sit there and tell someone that I'm gonna call you, give you a text message, send you an email when you're under a warning, and you delivered a 1 hour late warning, you should be kicked out of the pool.
Talk about Weather Call for just a moment. How much is that? How does that work?
Weather Call at Home, we offer it now through 83 TV stations across the country. We offer it through the website weathercall.net. We offer commercial services. You can learn more about that at bradhuffines.com. Right now I've got 2 hospitals. I've got several manufacturing plants in North Alabama. I just met with a couple of distribution centers, one in Alabama, one in Oklahoma last week, about having them affordable 1/10 of the price of competitors to be able to warn their employees of when tornadoes may be coming to their facility.
Now, are you still going and speaking to companies?
Absolutely, yes, I am. I talk to companies, I talk to safety directors, I've talked to now the message that I'm carrying since April 27th is imagine that a monster, read a fairy tale and think about a monster that comes through your neighborhood, and that monster is tearing people in half, is removing their limbs, is beheading them. It's a horrible fairy tale that you wouldn't want. It's a Stephen King novel. That's what tornadoes do. When tornadoes come through and people lose their lives in tornadoes, and I know I'm probably speaking to some people who have lost loved ones in the tornadoes of last year, they can attest to the fact that people don't just see these things and die of fear. They get impaled by wood. They get cut in half. It's a horrible story, and that's the story that I'm trying to tell people who think I'm being overwarned. The Weather Service is issuing too many warnings. If a monster was like that, if there was a monster roaming the woods, biting people in half, we'd want to know it when that monster is anywhere within the state. But people want to complain about a tornado warning that doesn't verify. I'm telling you, folks, these things, when they kill horribly. So please, when you hear that warning and you hear the siren, don't think, oh, here it is again. Go find information to find out if that monster is coming toward you.
That's funny. You're talking about the monster thing. Find out immediately about it. It's like we've been watching one of the Huntsville stations living over in Huntsville years ago. I said, rapist, murderer, loose in 5 points, more at 6. Oh, more at 6, more now.
That's another reason why local television and I kind of lost favor in my mind, because how many times have you heard your 3-year-old maybe dying right now in front of your face and you don't know it? Details later.
Yeah. Coming up at 10.
Tell me now. My 3-year-old's right here. Come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah. More at 10. But they're in ratings
usually
right
during
now.
ratings.
Coming up stuff, yeah. We don't do ratings here. So you're out of TV for good? Except here.
Yeah, except here. This is, frankly, I got tired of being in front of the camera, but now I always said that for the past 20 years, once I found that job that I could affect more people's lives by working in the private sector for companies that help other people and companies, I knew that I'd leave television. So now I'm working for FEMA about 10 weeks a year, teaching communities how to respond to tornadoes and hurricanes and terrorist attacks and earthquakes. I'm traveling the country doing that, as well as working with companies and individuals.
And you don't have to deal with the management of local television stations.
Oh my gosh! Holy cow.
The most beautiful part of it.
It's your peace. You're at peace.
I am at complete peace. Yeah, I'm doing what I love every second of the day, not 5 days a year.
Well, I know a lot of people miss you seeing you on Channel 31, and
well, they can find me on Facebook. A lot of them have still found me on still on Facebook. My Facebook name is Luke Skywatcher. Luke Skywatcher, and my website is bradhuffines.com. If you've got a company and you're looking at your weather at your tornado plans, give me a holler. Let me look at them with you. I don't charge for that. I want companies to have the best plans for their employees because it's my passion. It's what I do.
Well, you certainly come across good talking about it.
Weather Call is available for individuals as well.
Absolutely.
Get it on my cell phone.
Yeah, you can go to weathercall.net. There's mobile versions, there's home versions, there's business versions, and there's now a school.
I'm going to have to take a break because the Brad Huffines show is going a little longer than I anticipated. I've got to get rodeo video in after we come back in just a moment. Y'all hang on.
Yeah.